Hey, Andrew here for MyNextTablet.com. Today was an unboxing of the Lenovo Tab P11 Pro. Let's get started. Alright, let's start the unboxing of the Lenovo Tab P11 Pro. It seems to slowly be available in most countries. It's starting to be available in Europe and also in the United States. In the US it costs $499, that's where the price starts. And in Europe I paid 549 euros here in Germany. So let's unbox this tablet. First, inside the box is the tablet itself, which makes a pretty good first impression. I like that the body seems to be completely metal. Then we've got an SD eject tool. I've got the Wi-Fi version, but there's also an LTE version that you can buy. And then we get a quick start guide, which is pretty thick. And then there's a standard USB-C to USB Type-A cable and the standard charger. And that's it. There's nothing else inside this box. As usual, a couple of hours have passed since I shot the first parts of this video. I already ran a benchmark and I played a game. I watched a little bit of Netflix and YouTube and so on, so that I can tell you a little bit more about this tablet. We're starting with the design, which is very nice. This is an 11.5-inch tablet. You can see very slim black bezels around the screen. On the front here, we've got an 8-megapixel front-facing camera together with an infrared camera, because you can unlock this tablet using facial recognition. Let me quickly show you how that works. So I turn it on and then it recognizes my face, hopefully. Yeah, it does. And then it unlocks the tablet. So this should be pretty secure. Many tablets just use the front camera alone, but here we also got an infrared camera, which is great. On the back, we get a full metal body, which looks really pretty, I think. It looks similar to the Samsung Galaxy Tab S7, but also similar to the Apple iPad Pro, and a little bit like the Lenovo Duet Chromebook, which is a nice Chrome OS tablet. Alright, so full metal body, which looks really nice. We've got two cameras here. There's a 13-megapixel standard camera and a 5-megapixel wide-angle camera together with an LED flash. Let's get to the sides, and on the top we see the volume buttons. So then there's a microphone. On the side here we get two speakers and a USB-C 3.1 port. That means you should be able to connect external monitors as well, which is pretty nice. Then on the bottom here we've got a connector for a keyboard cover. Sadly, I wasn't able to buy the keyboard cover yet, and it's not available in Germany at the moment, but it's a super interesting keyboard cover with a back that's attached that has an integrated kickstand, and then the keyboard is attached separately. The design is similar to the one of the Lenovo Duet Chromebook and also to the Samsung Galaxy Tab S7. I really like this kind of the design for a keyboard. Then we get two speakers again. So in total, this tablet has 4 speakers and the sound quality is really good. It's quite loud and it sounds nice. I really like that. And then we get a micro SD card slot in this case, and I'm sure if you get the LTE version, that's where you put the SIM card too. Then we get a power button, and a fingerprint scanner is built into the power button, just like we've seen on the Galaxy Tab S7 and the Apple iPad Air 4. So let me demonstrate it. I turn it off and then I can unlock it using the fingerprint scanner. I just have to press the button properly. You actually don't have to press a button, you just put your finger on it slightly and then it unlocks. It works pretty well. So on the Lenovo Tab P11 Pro, you can actually decide if you want to unlock it using facial recognition or using the fingerprint scanner, or you just have both turned on like I have. Then you can use both. If you're wearing a mask, you use your finger, or if you're wearing gloves, then you use the facial recognition. Again, this tablet feels really well made. It feels like a very expensive high-end tablet, similar to the Galaxy Tab S7 or the Apple iPad Air or so. It's just 5.8 millimeters thin and it weighs 485 grams. And for an 11-inch tablet, I think that's great. Alright, let's get to the screen of the Lenovo Tab P11 Pro. And this is one of the highlights of this tablet, because we're getting an 11.5-inch OLED screen. First of all, that means it's a little bit bigger than your typical 10-inch tablet, and it's an OLED panel, which is one of the few OLED tablets that have been released this year, which is very nice. We're getting a high resolution of 2560 by 1600 pixels, so text and icons and so on look very sharp, and this is a very pretty screen in general. It's quite bright, colors look saturated, and it's just pretty to look at. Viewing angles are wide too, and it's a nice OLED screen as you would expect from Samsung and so on. Probably the screen is made by Samsung, but I don't know. Now, there is a downside of OLED screens that have 60 Hz, like this one or the Galaxy Tab S5e or the Samsung Galaxy Tab S6, and that is if you scroll vertically, you can kind of see a kind of rolling shutter effect. That means straight lines are not really straight. You can see that when you scroll slowly. Now, that's not a problem of Lenovo. It's a problem of these big OLED screens if they are standard 60 Hz screens. I noticed something similar on the Galaxy Tab S5e and on the Galaxy Tab S6. Actually, at the beginning, I didn't notice that. I only replicated that effect when viewers told me. So chances are that if you're not that picky, you will never notice this rolling shutter effect in real life. But if you know of it, and now I'm telling you of it, you might notice it. So I'm not sure how huge of an issue that is. It really depends on how picky you are. If you want an OLED screen without this rolling shutter effect, you have to get the Galaxy Tab S7 Plus, which is much pricier, and that one has this 120 Hz OLED screen and you don't see that rolling shutter effect there. But otherwise, if you want to get the Galaxy Tab S6 or S5e, you see exactly the same rolling shutter effect. On a positive note, this is one of the first tablets from Lenovo that are capable of playing back Netflix with HD resolution because it has a wideband level of L1. The last Lenovo tablets I reviewed all were not capable of doing that, but here you can finally watch Netflix with HD resolution, which is great. Together with a nice screen and the great speakers, this seems to be a fantastic Netflix tablet. According to Lenovo, you will be able to use an active pen with the Tab P11 Pro. You can buy that separately, but it's not available yet. I wasn't able to buy it, so I hopefully will be able to get the pen for my final review. It surely will be very interesting. If the pen works great, then it will be a great competitor to the Galaxy Tab S7 with the S Pen and so on. But yeah, as I said, I wasn't able to try it yet. Let's get to the internal hardware of the Lenovo Tab P11 Pro. It's shipping with the Qualcomm Snapdragon 730G processor, which is a kind of upper mid-range chip. And we also get 6GB of RAM and a 128GB internal storage. That's the one that I have, and that's the only one that's available in Germany at the moment. But depending on the country, it might ship with other RAM and storage configurations as well. And Lenovo is also offering it with integrated LTE 4G. My Geekbench 5 benchmark comparison is very interesting because it is more powerful than the Samsung Galaxy Tab S5e, which is another mid-range tablet with an OLED screen. But it's also noticeably less powerful than the Samsung Galaxy Tab S7, which, to be fair, is more expensive. But also, to be fair, with that one, the S Pen is included. So you always have to compare prices and see what you want from a tablet. I already played PUBG Mobile, and as you can see here, it runs very nicely. It certainly looks nice on this 11.5-inch screen, and it sounds very nice too, thanks to the 4 good speakers. Now, the graphics can be set to HD graphics, which looks nice, but you can't select HDR, and you also can't select Ultra HD graphics like you can on the Galaxy Tab S7. So this is certainly not a high-end gaming tablet, but pretty much every game should run fine on here. Not with highest graphics, sure, but every game should run. Alright, let's look at the software of the Lenovo Tab P11 Pro. For that, we go into the settings, to System, About Tablet, and there we see it's running Android 10, which is great. Usually, Lenovo releases about an update for their tablet, so maybe it will get Android 11. I hope it will get Android 12, but I really don't know how long they will update it. Well, as you can see, the interface is not customized that heavily, certainly not as much as Samsung or Huawei do. It's customized a little bit, and we'll look at those features in a minute. So let me just quickly show you what's pre-installed. First of all, we get all the Google apps, then there's Microsoft Office pre-installed and Netflix and also Amazon Music. I didn't install those myself, they were pre-installed. The same goes for Bamboo Paper, which is kind of a drawing app, and for Squid. I'm sure Lenovo pre-installed those for the pen, which I can't buy at the moment, as I told you. Geekbench 5 and PUBG Mobile I installed myself. And then let's go check out something really interesting. For that, we go into the settings again. First of all, you can see here you can turn on a blue light filter, there's a dark mode and so on. But when we go to the settings, we can go to productivity mode and then we can turn it on. Now, Lenovo had a productivity mode for quite a while now, but it wasn't always a full desktop mode. Usually it just puts the buttons here on the side and then you can see a taskbar with opened apps. But on this one, you can also have apps in free floating windows, just like you can have on Samsung's tablets, for instance. This is the settings. We can also open Chrome in a free floating window like this. And that's obviously very useful. If you're using it with the keyboard cover, you can also use it with another keyboard, of course, or you can connect it to a mouse. And then it's much more convenient to navigate Android this way with this productivity mode. This now can be called the desktop mode, I would say. It's still Android, it doesn't do as many things as Samsung DeX or so, but I think it looks really nice with this taskbar here with the open apps and free floating windows. I think that's great. Obviously, you can use apps in a split screen view as well without this productivity mode. And yeah, I think that looks really nice. Yeah, now I have to properly start my review. I want to connect it to an external monitor, use the keyboard and the mouse, play some more games and so on, and yeah, really start this review. My first impressions are pretty good. I like that we are getting a big 11.5-inch OLED screen. The performance is fine. Sure, not as good as the Galaxy Tab S7, but unless you want to play high-end games, so it doesn't really matter that much because the Snapdragon 730 should be fast enough for most things. Now, I also like that we get a fingerprint scanner and the facial recognition. The keyboard looks promising and the pen as well, but obviously I haven't tried that yet. Now, if the Lenovo Tab P11 Pro is a great buy, mostly depends on the price and what you want from a tablet. You always should compare it with the Galaxy Tab S7 and also with the Apple iPad Air 4. Those are competitors, so check out the prices, how much performance you need. Do you need a pen? Don't you need a pen? Which kind of keyboard do you want? So yeah, you really have to compare those. Alright, that's been my unboxing of the Lenovo Tab P11 Pro. If you have any questions, write them down below. I'm MJ from mynexttablet.com. Thanks for watching and see you next time.